Every morning we got to let the boys out and the girl. And this morning we took a walk over here to the build site for our new garage. It's still standing. That's a huge plus. We had to get some neighbors yesterday to help us get this front wall up. We don't want to put them on camera though. But at any rate, so today we got to shore up the foundation a little bit, get this thing back square. Some of the blocks had shifted when we were lifting walls. So we're going to do that. And then once I'm pretty confident with the squareness of the building and where the blocks are, then the next step is we're going to try to, we're going to put bracing in between all of the studs. We're going to do 2 levels. The reason we're doing that is because we're siding this with 1x6, 10-foot 1x6 cedar. So I need something to attach the cedar boards to, and I don't want to strap this like I did the carport because that's going to leave a gap, and we don't want to do that because this building, I do want this building dried in as opposed to the carport, which we don't really care. So that said, we're gonna go ahead and put the strapping in. Not quite sure how far we'll get today. I'd like to be able to say each one of these is exactly the same dimension. Unfortunately, that's just not always the case. So we'll probably set up inside of here, get our tape measure out, measure everything up, cut the pieces that we need. All right, well, we're gonna let the boys finish doing what they're doing, and then we're gonna get started. Okay, so I wanted to kind of stop here and just kind of show you guys and talk about where we're at. So first thing this morning, what we did is I added these braces here. The reason we added those is because I wanted to prevent the building from, rocking back and forth this way so that I could take some measurements, start working on it. But I needed the building to stop swaying. So the next thing that we did is I had Jen come out and help me. Basically, I wanted to square the building at the base. So what we did is we measured from this corner across to this corner. We took that measurement, and then we went from this corner here over to that far corner. Then we had to move the walls to get within a 1/2 inch, which we are. And a 1/2 inch difference to me is fine. I'd like to get it down to a 1/4 inch, but 1/2 inch is fine as well. The next thing I did after doing that is in each corner, I placed these 2x4s from wall to wall, really just to make sure that the squareness of the building doesn't shift as I'm working on it. So the next step really now is I need to add this row of bracing in between each stud. We're going to do 2 rows, one here, and we're going to do one up here. The reason we're putting these is twofold. Number one, to help create or help stabilize the entire building. More importantly, though, is so that I have something that I can attach the cedar to when we go ahead and add siding to this. Very similar to what we did on the carport. And so in order to do that, I've got to have something to attach it to here in the center between the studs. All right, let's get to it. So we have had an extremely productive day. It may not actually look like it, but it has been a very long day. So basically what we've gotten done is this row right here. We've got all the way around the garage, all the way around. And the purpose of that, again, twofold. Number one, for support, bracing, and number two, so that I have something I can attach the cedar planks to, or the cedar boards to, once we start putting the siding on. The other thing that I did, and there it is, I'll show you guys here, to help support the building. Basically what I did is I made this that brace and that brace level in all four corners, and here you can see that it is level. Look at that, it is level. The reason being, and I'm going to do it on the next row as well, the reason being is I want to be able to tie these corners together better and stronger, and then I also want to be able to put some shelves there. So we're going to have corner shelves in 3 of the 4 corners, because this corner over here, that's where the wood stove will go. So we're not going to do a shelving unit there. The next thing that I'm working on now is adding blocking between the doorway. So I've got the 3 blocking down there, and then I'm going up every 2 feet all the way to the top, and we'll do the same thing on the other side over here. I haven't started that yet, but we'll get that tomorrow. And then we haven't done the header either yet, but we'll get there as soon as I finish with the walls. And the reason being is I want to make sure this building is sturdy, and so I want to make sure that I have all of the blocking in the walls before I start doing anything up top, really just for my own safety, because I am doing it by myself, and I just want it to be, I'm just doing it that way. I don't know if it's the right way to do it. Again, I'm not a contractor. Everything I'm doing is just from what I've learned, since I've been building here on the homestead. So, all right, well, that said, I'm exhausted. We're going to be having some steaks tonight. I'm looking forward to that. Then we're going to get back at it tomorrow. Well, it is the next day. I got my cavalry with me, all my workers. I'm coming out to the build site. And today, it's about finishing the blocking. And hopefully, we can start on the header today. That'd be really cool. All right, so we are here. It's still standing. All right, we're gonna get ourselves situated, get started. All right, so now that we are done eating lunch, it is time to get back to the garage. Okay, so we have finished that second row, and we also added a second 2x4 stud here, since this is where the 4x4 that'll support the ridge pole will be. So we wanted to have two 2x4s there. So all of the bracing and blocking is done, which honestly took me a hell of a lot longer than I thought it would. Going up and down the ladder, holy smokes, that kicked my butt. The next step here is to get the header done, and what I've done is I've rigged a little kind of some scaffolding here. Now I'm a big guy, so I use two 2x6s, well, 4 2x6s, but too thick. I think it'll hold my weight. So I'm gonna get up here and try it and see what happens. If it holds my weight, then that's awesome. That'll save me from going up and down the ladder. If I'm a little uneasy, then we'll just do it with the ladder. So just trying to make it a little bit easier for myself. So the header, basically what we're gonna do is put two 2x6s laid vertical on top of that 2x4. And then we've got a 2x4 that'll run over the two 2x6s. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. I've already got everything cut, so let's see if my scaffolding works. So we're here in the old shop, and Sue has been in here for a little while today because there's mice in here, and I think he's caught the scent of one, and I think he may have even heard or saw him, because he has not left here all day. He's been in here quite a bit, so, but I'm happy to see him in here. He wasn't in here for a while. He just recently started coming in here. So, right, Sue? And for the record, Sue is spelled S-I-O-U-X. We know there's the Johnny Cash song, Boy Named Sue, and it was kind of funny when we decided to name him that, but no, he is it's spelled S-I-O-U-X. So, all right, well, let's go take a look and see where we're at here, because we are calling it a day today. All right, so obviously I didn't crash and burn on my little makeshift scaffolding here. That worked out great. I did get the I got the two 2x6s up there, so those are in place. I've got to get the 2x4 up next, which is this guy. Then after I have the 2x4 in place, and I've got some 5-inch blocking that's going to go above that as well. So this is the biggest header I've ever built, and I'm pretty impressed with it so far. You know, I think it's coming out okay. I guess the real test is going to be when we go to put the roof on, the rafters. So, but we've got quite a bit left to do before we're ready for rafters. So tomorrow we'll go ahead and finish this header off right here, and then we'll start working on the gables. We're putting up 4 foot, we're putting 3 foot 4x4s on both gable ends. So I've got to get those cut, get them in place, fastened, and then secured until we get the ridge pole on, which I'm hoping I'll be able to start working on here in a couple of days, because the plan is to get the siding for the garage and get the corners here about 5 feet off of each corner done to help tie the building in. So when we do go to put the rafters on, the building's nice and tight. But we'll talk more about that later. Right now I'm gonna go eat some dinner, kick my feet up, and yeah, get back at it tomorrow.